Welcome back, everybody, to Manifesting with me, Lee, where I get to share my manifesting experiences so that I can hopefully help you manifest whatever it is that you want. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about, reflecting on my journey on how I manifested my SP, but I'll probably be splitting it up because there's quite a lot that I want to say about my journey of manifesting my SP. I once shared a video about how I manifested my SP just like 2 years ago, I think. It's been a year now since I shared the video. But I didn't really go into detail. I tried to be in detail, but I just feel like, I didn't really dissect the video that much, giving detail into what happened and so forth. So I just feel like I should just revisit my story again for all the new subscribers and my old subscribers. Guys, I've missed you so much. It's been a long time. It's been months. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it's been months since I actually recorded one of these. It's so emotional for me to come back. So many things have been happening in my life, but good things, not bad. I was focusing on my business. I've been manifesting that for a very long time, and I'm also going to be making a separate video telling you guys about that as well, and how I manifested the outcome for my event. I was busy planning a youth event. So yeah, it's another story of another day, but gosh, I had to be mentally strong. I had to be physically present. I had to be focused because I was working with people. And the project was very demanding. It was my business that I just manifested. It was just getting off the ground. It had to be up to scratch. So I'm very excited. That's what kept me away, and there were so many things that were happening at work as well. I had many job opportunities as well. I've been manifesting so many things in my work environment now, because I'm done with manifesting my SP, and I think I'm busy manifesting for more with my SP, but it's not really the focus right now. I have other things that I want to manifest for business, my work, money, and all these kind of things. That's what I've been working on. So it was very important for me because I was being pulled in different directions, so many different directions. I had to be there for my family. I had to be there for my work. I have 3 different jobs that I'm doing, and I had to be present for different jobs, and I had to be present for all of them. They were all very demanding. So now we are done with work, and I have I'm back to being able to record. I have free time now. I'm well rested. I was taking a week off as well to just rest and just relax. I was on vacation with my SP and his little babies. It was also great, guys. I am very happy. Okay. I'm very, very happy. I have missed you guys so much, and I have not deserted you. It's just that I needed to pour into my cup before I can pour into other people's cups as well. What we do is very important, because I'm gonna sit here and tell you about my story, so I have to be at my optimum, so that I'll be able to be focused and tell you the things that hopefully might help you to improve your situation as well. So today, like I said, we're going to be focusing on the journey on how I manifested my SP. And today I just want to focus on what made my manifesting my SP difficult, right? So in another video, I'll talk about something else and so forth. But today I want to specifically focus the things that made manifesting my SP feel difficult. Right, so I started my manifesting journey in 2021, and it was around the time that my SP had just left, right? My SP had just gotten a job in another city. He was moving 4 hours away from where I was living. So now we are moving from a close proximity. Mind you, we were on and off. It was a very unstable connection. We did not really officialize things. We didn't really hold each other accountable about our relationship. So we were just I'll see you, you'll see me type of situation. So nothing was set in stone. And remember, I live life what is not communicated does not exist. I was thinking, that was my old way of thinking. If somebody hasn't said anything, no matter what we are doing, if nothing has been said and we didn't come into agreement about that, it's not gonna happen. So he left, and I was left here in the city, and then he went to another town, and then I was like 4 hours away from where I am. So from a close proximity, within a month of us reconnecting to a long distance situation, just like that. So you can imagine how I felt, guys. It was a shocker. It was a shocker. I was not okay, because I really, 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 really like this person. And I was like, but I feel something more than just liking him. I want to be with him. I want to spend my life with him. I mean, he was giving me signs that he was also feeling the same way, but I just wasn't sure that this is what he wants, So my goodness, that's when I started panicking. Right, and I found everything about the law of attraction and all of those kind of things. The first person that I found was it that I forgot, but it's the law of attraction solutions. His channel is the law of attraction solutions, and then it was who's that one? Oh gosh, why am I forgetting everyone now? Oh my goodness, Roxy. Yes, Roxy and all that. But I was first focused on the law of attraction stuff. So everything was the law of attraction, like looking at the book of the secret, and I was very focused, guys. And like, in the beginning, you're so like, oh my gosh, I'm losing this person. And our connection, mind you, with my SP was just like, he was one person who would like, you communicate today, tomorrow he disappears for a week again, and he doesn't take it personally, because that's how he's been used to it. Nobody has held him accountable for behaving that way in a relationship. And I was like, no, but I'm not used to this. If you're with someone, you talk at least every single day. So now it was from getting used to talking to someone, all of a sudden just boom, the person is not there. So I delved in the law of attraction things, and then it didn't work. It was so many methods, and I wasn't focused. I didn't even understand what this whole thing was about, right? So then I was like, okay, there's too many techniques, and these techniques need one thing. The techniques are fine, but they need you to focus. Like they need you to. I didn't understand that there was assumption that's needed to an ongoing thought process is what actually affects your reality. I just thought that if I stare at a pen long enough and I just say something, it'll happen. After talking to a pen for 5 minutes, what are you going to do? You go back to your old state again. So I didn't understand. And those are the common errors that I made, that I was depending on the techniques to bring my desired situation. Because then I had decided, after he had left and he didn't talk to me, he just went 3 weeks. Like, remember, this person just left, guys. Then he only communicated with me to tell me that he's finally settled in after 3 weeks. By the way, so during the 3 weeks that he was just silent, I was busy with the law of attraction techniques. I bought anything. I bought honey. I bought everything, breathing into the honey, meditating with quantum, like glasses of water. I was busy. I was very busy. I knew what I was doing with my spare time after coming home from work. I was very busy. I had cups. I'm like, okay, I had this big notebook of the law of attraction methods. Not that I'm shaming it. I'm not shaming it. Just that I was very busy. Today, I'm doing the whisper technique. We're not touching water or honey. While the honey is busy cooking itself in there, I don't know. I breathed into it, right? So I'm leaving it in the cupboard. I'm busy now with something else. I was a busy girl. But I do remember them talking about repetition and stuff like that. And I was not understanding up until I found the law of assumption coaches. And then, I understood it off the bat. But the mistake that I made with the law of assumption, I still didn't understand. They'd be like, you don't have to do anything. You just have to affirm, or think continuously about something. So I was not really understanding what that meant. So I would affirm my SP and I in a loving, committed relationship, but I had a lot of conflict. And I thought that me having that conflict it's a sign that you shouldn't even be doing this. So I was fighting the process, so there was no alignment of my mind and my words and my feelings. Nothing was aligning. And so I was in and out, and that's why I didn't see any movement, because I was just depending on someone else to be the one that's doing everything. So the first error that I made was that I didn't think that I was responsible for the outcome that I'm seeing in my reality. And I focused more on the other person. It was more about changing my SP than changing my mindset. And they'll be like, no, just change your assumption about your SP. And I'm like, okay, you just have to change. Okay, so I found all the things that I didn't like about my SP, and then I wrote the opposite of those things that I from not liking to liking. So I'm like, okay, well, that's all I have to do. Then there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just gonna simply do that. What I didn't understand is that I got frustrated easily because this is all new to me. I'm forcing my mind to get this new information. I'm looking at the second thing that I made. The second error that I made here was the time frame. Then I'm like, no, how long am I supposed to be affirming for this thing? And I lost patience, and I'm like, okay, if I'm affirming that he loves me, he's going to call me, because at that time, my biggest obsession was communication between me and my SP. I'm like, he has to call me, he has to text me, he has to call and text. I just wanted to manifest a call and a text so that once he picks up the phone, I was already thinking, I'm going to give him a piece of my mind, but wrong mentality. But I didn't understand what affirming actually meant. So I was just thought it's repetition for a specific time. And then I thought to myself, well, after I've repeated these affirmations for 10 minutes, I can go back to my shitty thought pattern. Okay? The shitty thought pattern where I'm sulking all day. I'm in the awareness of his absence from my life. I'm in awareness of how much he's neglecting me. So it didn't really help that I repeated something, and then the rest of the time when I'm not meditating something, I'm not affirming something, I'm out here thinking negative things about him. So that's one of the mistakes that I made. I didn't realize that. And the time frame then came in, like, okay, for how long am I going to do this? I'm going to do this for a week. If it doesn't work in a week, I'm giving up. I didn't understand. That's one of the errors that I made with time frame. Remember, guys, when you are now, it was hard for me to understand that now this is a lifestyle. You're not just manifesting someone to get them. You are creating the life of your dreams. You are busy. It's like building a house or renovating your house. Renovations. You're working on a particular room. You know how your kitchen's supposed to be. The money's there to fix that kitchen, to buy the material, to buy everything that's needed. It's already there. You don't need to stress. You've got the construction workers that are going to come and put your cupboards there. You know it's going to be done. You even have the picture is there, like the full picture. This is how I want my kitchen to be at the end of this. You're showing it to the construction workers. You better do this. They know what's expected of them, and you have full faith that they will do it, right? And every now and then you just tell them, okay, they'll ask you questions there and there, but the work is gonna continue, right? So I cannot expect. If my dream kitchen is gonna take it might take longer, maybe, right? Because what I want is more complicated but beautiful. So I must be willing to be patient. I can't say, well, this is as complicated as it is. I want it in a week's time, and then when something's wrong with the foundation of that thing, it's not gonna last long. So I was just like, no, I'm passionate, and I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to wait it out. I didn't have that understanding. So guys, sorry. Instead, I was just like giving each affirmation technique a week in, a week out, a week in, a week out, which is fun because I learned so much at the end of the day once I grasped onto how to go about, how to be persistent, training the mind, that it takes time. You have to be patient with yourself. You have to be patient with your mind. You have to know that no matter how long this is going to take, I'm going to get it at the end of the day. It took me quite a while for me to understand that, you guys. I might sound all over the place, but I'm just trying to get my... It's so difficult now that you've actually manifested something to just go back now and sort of like try to separate all the points, because I tried so many things, guys. I did. And then another error that I made while I was manifesting my SP that made me feel or almost want to give up this whole thing of manifesting a human being was looking for signs. Like, I was constantly looking for signs. So after I do something, I'd be like, okay, so you know what I do? Looking for signs causes you to do it, causes you to react. So you'd be affirming that my SP calls me every single day. And then when he doesn't call you, you are tempted to now text, right? Or you'd say an affirmation like, my SP is only focused on me. And maybe it was a no contact situation where your SP ghosted you. He didn't say anything to you. Like my case, I was ghosted, man. I don't even know if it's ghosting me, but it was, because he wouldn't talk to me. He'd disappear, disappear. So yeah, it is ghosting, let's call it what it is. So he disappear, but he was only reflecting my state of mind. I was also like unsure. One day I'm sure that I want him. One moment, immediately after that, I'm angry at him. 1 minute I'm sure. 1 minute I'm done. 1 minute I'm in faith. 1 minute I'm in doubt. You know, 1 minute I'm affirming for good things. 1 minute when I'm done affirming, I'm out here talking about how this guy is disrespecting me and all this kind of stuff, guys. It was just, yeah, it was a roller coaster. I wasted my own time. I could have manifested my SP sooner, all right? But I was learning. I just learned this thing. I just found out about this power that I have, and it was so overwhelming, and I wanted to see results almost always immediately, okay? So focusing on the other person for them to change instead of you changing. The second thing I did mention, the time frame. I was looking, if it doesn't happen in a month, I'm done. It's not working, this thing. Then I'm deciding that it's done. And then another thing, looking for signs. What if he doesn't call? So maybe you're trying this new affirmation of saying like, okay, I'm going to try the 3-day affirmation technique. And then let's say after 3 days, it hasn't manifested. What are you going to do? You're going to call up a person. I used to be like that. And you know what happened? Silence. I'd literally see that I'm blue ticked, and he would take forever to get back to me. And it was little movements in the midst of like a week or two. And I was like, this is not what I want. There was a lot of ego that was involved in my journey of manifesting. And I was upset because I didn't want to surrender to the process of manifestation and the law of assumption. I didn't want to surrender. I was very much in my ego mode, and I was very much about, I don't know, this is what I want to be treated like. I don't know. You don't understand that I wasn't in my power, because I thought power is you forcing someone to see your worth and you confronting them, because I used to be so confrontational. When somebody does something to me, I'm just reacting, and I got more and more of them being stubborn towards me. Like, it doesn't matter whether it's a lover or a friend. I was just a confrontational person. But now I'm like, no, I don't have to do much of that, because everything is in here. It starts here, it ends here with me, right? So looking for signs. And then the fourth thing that I was focused on was that made my manifesting my SP journey very difficult, was meditating on unfavorable things that my SP had said, right? So all the excuses and all the limiting things that he said about, oh, I got kids, I don't know if this is right for you, or I don't have time, or that I'm lazy, or whatever the case may be. Anything that when I confronted him about something, he gave it as an excuse as to why he didn't do something. I now used to meditate on that. So, and I made that a reason for myself. If I wanted to give up on manifesting my SP, I would be like, oh yeah, by the way, who wants to deal with a lazy man in a relationship? Who wants to deal with a man who has children? Who wants to deal with a man who has a baby mama who just is crazy and all those kind of things? I was really taking in and taking in what he would say to me. And then I would, instead of affirming the opposite of what he's saying to me in my favor, I would take in and meditate on the things that he was saying that was sort of like, encouraging his behavior that was unfavorable for us. Do you get what I'm saying? So it was those 4 common errors that I had made, and I would replay them and replay them and replay them. And that's what delays the process half the time when you want to manifest to a specific person, that you look at all those things, anything that you see with your senses. It takes time to transition from the 3D into the 4D, which is subconscious, and to truly surrender to the 4D. Take away your attention from the 3D and bring everything into the 4D, and know that, you know what, I look at something with my senses, because you are a physical individual, you can tell, you can feel things. So, but I'm like, I'm not going to allow what's happening around me regarding my situation to influence the way that I feel or I want to experience things. You need to have an active imagination. Like, if you are a person who's an overthinker, I suggest that you use your overthinking abilities to create a world in here that you can escape into. And that world is very real, you guys, because I've manifested a lot of things by just escaping into that world and just delving in there to make myself feel good and come up and face the world and be like, okay, I'm very occupied in my head. Very occupied because things are going so well in my mind. I had to create, I've always been an imaginative person, so I create, there's a lot of fantasies going on in this head of mine. There's a lot, but they guide my projects, creativity comes from imagination, honestly. So if I wasn't imaginative, I wouldn't achieve the things that I'm achieving today, even my relationship. But back then, I used to imagine great things in my head about, fantasize about your person, and then that's also the state that you return to. And then when you come to the 3D, when you have to deal with the 3D situations, you are just in a mood of loss, lack, everything. Nobody loves you and all those kind of things, guys. So those are the common errors. Just to recap on them, it was focusing on the other person, right? Or for them to change and neglecting my responsibilities as a human being. And then focusing on the time frame, giving yourself a time frame. If I don't manifest this in a week, I'm done. Those kind of errors, they will make manifesting difficult for you. And then looking for signs on the outside, always reacting, looking to see, oh, he called me, oh, I had a missed call, oh, I saw that he liked my picture or she liked my picture. Though you're looking for signs, whether they like your picture, whether they call physically on your phone or they don't, it still happened. In here, if it's happened, we're cool, okay? We're good, because what we need is validation that comes from us in our mind. And then the last thing, meditating on unfavorable circumstances, continuously rehearsing, going over, having inner conversations with yourselves about the arguments, rehearsing the arguments, imagining what things you're gonna say when you confront the person who hurt you. How could you treat me like that? It's reliving the situation and reconfirming to your subconscious mind that this thing keeps on happening. People always do this to me. I'm tired of always being. It means that that's your state. You're always experiencing that, and you are in the awareness of the state of lack and loss. So those are the common errors that, if taken care of, you will be fine, and you will accelerate your manifestation process faster. All right. And the next video I will share how, like, what was the game changer for me when things started to change. You understand? Like, I did eventually get my SP, but it wasn't up until I did certain things that I couldn't see the changes. And it was not easy to get to those changes. Like I said, if the common error was neglecting myself, you can only imagine that to get to the end, right? How did I get there, right? What changed in my mind? What was the game changer for me? I'll share that with you guys in the next video, because I can see I'm over time, 20 minutes, guys. But you know what? Take it as a welcome back video. I had missed you guys so much, and I hope that you will take what I said. Look out for those common errors. Are you guilty of those? Which of these 4 common errors that I mentioned are you still struggling with? And I am back with coaching, mentoring. I call it mentoring. Yeah, whatever. But anyway, you can still mentor with me, and I will leave all the details in the description box below. If you feel like, you know what, you need some help, you need to check in on your manifesting journey, and you want me to help you, give you some advice, hold your hand through the process, you want to share what you're going through with me, you're more than welcome to just send me an email, and we can take it from there. Right, guys? I hope you will receive this video well, and the information in the video. All right, love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.